Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello everyone, I'm Deli Romadini. I'm here would like to talk to you and tell you about hand hygiene. How many of you can currently say you know how to properly wash your hands? Some people doesn't need. However, studies show that only 5% of people wash their hands well enough to kill germs. It's common knowledge that germs are bad for you, but people really underestimate how much damage comes from not washing your hands properly. Bacteria spores linger underneath your fingernails and in the groups of your fingers, waiting for the right moment to become pathogenic. Think about all the places you touch, such as bathroom seats, doorknobs, your eyes, mouth, and skin. Hand hygiene is one of the most crucial elements to infection control. The importance of hand hygiene is grossly underestimated. Well, for the first, I will discuss the importance of hand hygiene. Second, I will discuss the different types of hand hygiene. And lastly, I will walk you through how to perform hand hygiene with soap and water. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now that we discussed the importance of hand hygiene is the term denoted for keeping your hands clean and germ-free. Hand washing is crucial not only in the medical setting, but in everyday life. First, the main reason why hand hygiene is so important, because it helps prevent infection. You are often touching public surfaces with unknown bacteria. In an ideal world, your skin is able to handle this bacteria, as our skin is a protective covering. However, skin tears and openings are common, and these external bacteria can cause inflammatory immune system responses when exposed to an opening in your skin, according to Flavia Durhan, a graduate nurse. Second, a common infection caused by the bacteria on our hand is acne. People are always touching our own faces, whether it's to scratch and itch on your nose or to mop the hair away from your forehead. According to nurse practitioner Victoria Leck, one of the most preventable type of acne is caused by bacterial and oils from your hands and fingertips. This bacteria invites your pores and faster. Our autoimmune response to this bacteria is redness and pus. Third, besides preventing infection, hand hygiene is so important because it prevents our hands from being visibly soiled. Soiled hands can have a nauseating odor and look to them. Washing your hands will make them presentable and prevent your clothes and other possessions from getting soiled as well. Now that we discussed why hand hygiene is so vital, I will tell you about the different types of hand hygiene. There are various types of hand hygiene. You may not even know you're practicing hand hygiene. First, the easiest form of hand hygiene is with hand sanitizer. According to Durhan, antimicrobial hand sanitizer is an alcohol-based preparation that is generously rubbed on your hands for 20 until 30 seconds. It's often used in the healthcare setting when your hands are not visibly soiled. For example, before and after entering a patient room, the part of hand sanitizer is that easily accessible and quick. You don't need to be around running water or paper towels because it disappears as dries. Second, a more common and one of the oldest form of hand hygiene is using soap and water. Soap and water is the ideal method of hand washing because, unlike hand sanitizer, it's able to kill bacterial spores. As Durhan mentioned, a bacterial spore is a pegylated form of the bacteria that is highly resistant. Hand washing with soap and water should be done before and after contact with any person or contaminated surface and when the hands are visibly soiled. And the least common type of hand hygiene is superficial hand hygiene. This hand hygiene is not commonly performed in the public. It's done by healthcare professionals before and after an invasive and sterile procedure. It's often referred to as the surgical scrub and requires a high degree of skill. According to Lisa, the hands and arms must be washed and dried all the way up to the elbow before donning gloves. Ladies and gentlemen, now that you all know about the different types of hand hygiene, I will be walking you through the proper way to wash your hands with soap and water. Soap and water hand hygiene is one of the oldest forms of hand hygiene. First, you turn on the faucet and run hands under the water. Make sure the water is warm but not boiling. You don't want to risk getting a first-degree burn. The reason for warm water is not so bacteria can die, which is a common misconception, as warm water isn't enough for bacteria to die. However, it does help rid the hands of oil. It's important to rid the hands of oil because oil can easily harbor bacteria. Second, now that your hands are wet, you can pump some antibacterial soap onto your hands. The CDC or Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recommends that you scrub your hands for 20 seconds. Make sure to scrub between your fingers, under your fingernails, and on the outside of your thumb, which is commonly missed. Don't hesitate to take longer than 20 seconds. Be as short as you see fit. And the last, you lather your hands with soap and scrub. Now you must rinse. Properly rinse your hands, point your fingers downward, and let the running water remove all the soap. Shake your hands dry before grabbing some paper towels. Shortly, wet dry your hands with the paper towels and discard in the nearest trash can. To summarize, I first discussed importance of hand hygiene, then I discussed the different type of hand hygiene, and then I ended my presentation with a word on soap and water hand washing. Besides that, hand washing is essential to keeping your body safe from external pathogens. And I hope the next time you guys are facing the mirror in your bedroom with your hands under the faucet, you remember this speech and remember the statistic: only 5% of people their hands properly and actively try to change this statistic. I think that's all to my speech. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your all. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, thank you very much, Deli. The feedback will be given in the end of this activity ya. Feedback akan saya berikan setelah semuanya selesai melakukan pidatonya. So, students, don't
Yes,
forget to
Miss.
get information related to the topic or the speech delivered by your friends. We are going to continue. Okay. Pin. Okay. Student number 2. And student number 2 is Intan Novitasari. Intan Novitasari. Intan Novitasari, are you here?
Maybe sinyal, Miss.
Maybe signal, yeah. Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today's topic I would like to share to you is the difference between introvert and extrovert. In German actor Michael Fassbender said, "You use words like introvert and extrovert, various traits of a personality. A lot of that stuff we use in drama school, and that was kind of interesting to realize my teachers showed a rip of a lot of jokes and how much of it is part of our society now. This phrase introvert and extrovert, where it actually came from. So let me explain why this is so. Some things in life can easily be categorized like a color, whether someone is left or right-handed, species within a genus, or time zones. These are all examples of discontinuous traits, with regrets to the introvert or extrovert standard distinctions. Does human behavior really fall nearly into one or two categories? In reality, most of us exhibit qualities of both and fall somewhere between the two. Personally, as a person, I believe that every person has their own individual characteristics type like thinking, feeling, and acting, and all of them are unique. Character are all the aspects of a person's behavior and attitudes that make up that person's personality. The unique characteristics and behavior patterns from someone, it can be complex, and there are many pieces of it. But in simple way to categorize someone's personality is if they are considered introvert or extrovert. You often heard about introvert and extrovert. Introvert individuals are normally described as a shy and unwilling people, while extrovert people are known to be outgoing and overtly expressive. However, introverts and extroverts sit on two ends of colors, and generally people fall somewhere in between. In one of the color is the introvert. An introvert is a person who is focused more on internal thought and feelings. Rather than seeking out external motivation, introverts are known to be more quiet, reserved, and reflective. They are not very social and prefer to spend time in a peace, like reading, writing, painting, and etc. Being in a crowded room, like a party, makes them uneasy and feel anxious. And on the complete opposite side of the color is the extrovert. An extrovert is a person who worries more about the external world and people. Extroverts are confident, enthusiastic, loud, and etc. Extroverts are social and feel bored when they are not around people. Gifford and Gifford, 1936, proposed two extremes of sociality: social withdrawal and social dependence. While introverts tend to be quiet, gaining enjoyment from spending time alone. Extroverts are more socially present, thriving on the energy of those around them, often finding themselves the center of attention in large social groups. In other way, we can say that introvert case is the way someone recharges their energy in silence, quiet place, and alone. Meanwhile, is in extrovert case, someone's love to charge their energy in the crowd, meet people, hanging out, and being solo. While introverts avoid social gatherings and love being alone, extroverts feel pleasure in taking part in social activities. Further, the introverts are silent and listen more, but extroverts speaks more and enjoy being in the spotlight. Okay, that's all about my speech. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay. Okay, without further ado, I'm going to directly in. Thank you, Sasan. So are you introvert or extrovert? Okay, 14. 14 is Jupiter. Jupiter. Stop it. Yes. Chupi?
Yes, Miss.
Yes. Well, Chupi, the screen is yours.
The Honorable Miss Pinzala Rasati is our speech lecturer, as well as what I'm proud of, my friends from English Education City Background. First of all, we thank God for the presence of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala because we are still given the opportunity together in the Zoom meeting in good health without any shortcoming. Also, salawat and salam we also deliver to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam who bring us from the darkness into this brightness era. In this occasion, I want to deliver a speech about the importance of sleeping well for students. As we know, sleep is one of basic human needs included in the requirement psychologically. Sleep is also a very important thing universal because all individuals, wherever they are, need sleep. According to the Potter and Perry, also say, need for sleep really important for the quality of life of all persons. Each individual has different sleep needs in quantity and quality. Based on the study result prelude of October 27, 2013 at Madrasah Aliyah Al-Qadri class, grade X, consists of 4 classes which a total of 140 students based on the result of interview on 10 respondents by student. Data obtained 7 students had problems. Disturbed sleep patterns experienced by students as a difficult to start sleeping, while the data about learning concentration obtained 6 students who experienced learning concentration disorder, while 4 students did not have trouble concentration study. It's related, according to Carpenter and Graham, that teenagers often lack of sleep because of change in heart rate caused by hormonal change produced by the brain. Other than that, technology development such as games via computer, internet, video, and television are also becoming main cause of sleep deprivation on students. The student itself needs 9 until 10 hours of sleep in a day, but the fact is that students' sleeping hours are not until then again. All that due to several things led to poor sleep patterns could happen to students without they realize the cause of sleep patterns. What is not good can be habit in everyday life. Study concentration is concentration, attention, and awareness of a lesson and put aside the things that nothing to do with learning process. Based on existing theory, health is a very influential on study concentration. To maintain health, is one way is maintain sleep pattern, a good one. A simple example of important sleep is that taking a half an hour break from classes to rest your eyes and brain will benefit not only the student but the teacher as well. We all get stressed. Level of stress are the same whether you are an adult or a child. Higher stress level make people get distracted because their mind is focused on the other things. Planning enough into the curriculum, whether it's a quick sleep on the desk or in the dedicated room, will improve concentration and the overall ability to absorb the material. Sleep is a state relatively unconsciously with full serenity without activities in the sequence of cycle repeatedly and respectively state the pace of the brain activity and the different body. On someone who is in a state normal, then the need will be fulfilled according to the level development. Of several expert opinions about sleep, it can be concluded that sleep very important for the body because during the sleep, some organ, including the brain, will rest. If we don't sleep, so our brain lack of rest, that thing leads to the concentration and learning will be disturbed. That's all about my speech today. I hope it will be useful for all of us. Thank you so much for your interest and attention. I end it. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. You are the most welcome. Pi. Okay, next student. Okay, let us see. Student number 1. Okay, I guess you have known whose number 1 is. Number 1 is Mizi. Muhammad Tarmizi, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah,
Okay.
Muhammad Tarmizi. Okay. Mizi, with the background, I believe that you are now ready. Yeah. Thank you for Chupi and Mizi. The screen is now yours. Don't forget if you wait. Don't forget if you want to add something, like want to share something, it is very fine. Yeah, you may start.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, let's praise to Allah, Almighty God, who has given and all the abundance of grace and favor to all of us, so that we can still enjoy the fresh air and be able to gather in warm family atmosphere today. Furthermore, let us always remember and love the great Prophet Muhammad, who have gave guidance to all of us, so that we are on the path blessed by Allah. Ladies and gentlemen, on this occasion, allow me to give a short speech about the importance of school reform. Albert Einstein once said, "Everyone is a genius, but if it judges a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it's stupid." Ladies and gentlemen, let's look at modern school. He not only made fish climb trees, but also bring them down and did a 10-mile run. Tell me, our school, for all the things you have done, turning millions of people into robots. Do you realize how many children are excited with the fish? Swim in streaming places, never find their reward. Think they are stupid, believe that they are useless. Well, the time has come, no more excuse. A school killing creativity. individuality and being intellectually a good student. This unexamined institutional that outlets it easy. So, my friend, this concludes of my opening statement, and I will prove it. Uh, you can see modern telephone and phone from 150 years ago, and you can see car from today and car from 150 years ago, and you can see today's classroom and 150 years ago. Isn't that the same? Literally, over a country, nothing changed. However, the school considered preparing students for the future. But with such evidence, are, I have to ask, are schools preparing students for the future or the past? Schools were created to train people to work in factories, which explains why the school puts students in nice and neat string rules, and within 8 hours a day, tell them what to think and have them competent for A. Level that determines the quality of the product. Therefore, a big need a C. But then, time were different. We all had a past. But today, we don't need to build zombie robot. The world has advanced. And now we need people who think creatively, innovative, critical, independent, with the ability to connect. See, any science will tell you that no two brains are alike, and any parent with two or more children will confirm that claim. So please explain why the school treats students like cook, cattle frame, or snake their head. Get that a one size fits all rules. Sorry, but if a doctor prescribed the exact same drug to all his patients, the result would be tragic. So many people will fall ill. However, when he got to school, this was what happened: educational malpractice. Where one teacher stands in front of 20 children, it has different properties, different needs, different gift, and different dream. And school teach the same thing in the same way. That's trivial. Ladies and gentlemen, teachers have the most important jobs on the planet. However, they are underpaid. No wonder many students turn short. Let's be honest, teachers should earn the same as doctor, because a doctor can perform heart surgery and save a child life. But a great teacher can reach the child heart and let him really live. See, teachers are heroes who are often blamed, but they are not that problem. The work in system without many options, alright? The curriculum is created by policymakers. Most of them have never taught a day in their life, just upset with standardized tests. They think bubbling in multiplication choice question will determine success. That's word. In fact, this test is too crude to use and must be abandoned. Take for example, Frederick Jekyll, the man who invented standardized testing, who said and quote, "These are tests that are too crude to use and should be abandoned." Ladies and gentlemen, if we continue down this path, the result will be deadly. I don't have much faith in school, but I have faith in people. And if we can customize healthcare, car, and Facebook page, so it's our job to do the same for education. Improve change and demoralize school because it's useless unless we work to get the spirit of every student. That must be our job. There is no more general car. Instead, let's get to the heart of every heart in every class. Of course, math is important, but nothing more than art and dance. Like give every give an equal chance. I know it sounds like a dream, but countries like Finland are doing amazing things. They have shorter school days. Teachers give decent salaries, no homework, and they focus on celebration rather than competition. But here's the key boys and girls. The education system outperform every other country in the world. Other places like Singapore are doing well. School like Montessori program like Khan Academy, there is no single solution, but let's move. Because while students may be 20% of our population, they are 100% our future. So let's tend to their dream. And no one knows what we can see. This is the world in which I believe. Thank you very much for your attention. And wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
The Honorable Ms. Kinzar Larasati, SPD MPD, has a lecture in this fifth subject and also all of my beloved friends that I love. Firstly, we thank to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for giving us some blessings and mercy so we can gather in the Zoom meeting with good situations and conditions. Secondly, salawat and salam always be given to our beloved Prophet Muhammad SAW, who has guided us from the dark way to the bright way, from stupidity to the cleverness. Mental health is very important for living a stable and healthy life. It's comprised of emotional, social, and physiological well-being of a person. As per the statistics, 1 in 5 people in the world struggles through mental health issues. It impacts the way we think, feel, and behave every day. Our mental health also impacts our decision-making procedures, how we deal with stress, and how we connect with others in our life. So today, I'm gonna deliver speech about mental health. I will give you some information about what is mental health, the importance of mental health, what mental illness is, and how can improve and maintain good mental health. So let's first begin about what is mental health. According to the CDC, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, mental health includes emotional, physiological, and social well-being. This will affect the way of person to think, feel, and act. Mental health also helps determine how a person handles stress related to others and make healthy choices. Mental health is important at every stage of life, from childhood and adolescence to adulthood. Although the terms are often used interchangeably, poor mental health and mental illness are not the same thing. A person can experience poor mental health and not be diagnosed with a mental illness. Likewise, a person diagnosed with a mental illness may experience periods of physical, mental, and social well-being. Mental and physical health are equally important components as a whole. Mental illness, especially depression, increase the risk of many types of physical health problems, especially long-term conditions such as stroke, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease. More than 450 million people suffer from mental disorders. According to WHO, by 2020, depression will be the second largest burden of disease in the world. The global burden of mental health will far exceed the medical capacity of developed and developing countries. It's also important to remember that a person's mental health can change over time, depending on many factors. When the demands placed on a person exceed their research and abilities, their mental health can be affected. For example, if someone is working long hours, caring for a sick relative, or experiencing economic hardship, they may experience poor mental health. For this reason, it is necessary to realize that anyone can experience problems with their mental health. So next, I'm going to talk about the importance of mental health. What is the importance of mental health? Mental health is an important part of life of a person. It impacts our behaviors, emotions, and thoughts. A healthy mental state promotes effectiveness and productivity in activities that include work, academics, and interpersonal relationships. A person who has sound mind is able to adapt itself to the changes in their life. His mind has the capability to withstand stress and does not go off at balance. His mental strength keeps him solid and unshaken amidst adversities and challenges in life. Mental health also plays a critical role in maintaining the health of your relationship. Good mental health equips people with the ability to effectively deal with stress and maintaining stability in relationships. Students with healthy mind are able to efficiently cope up with academic stress. Their mind is strong and capable enough to face the fierce competition and succeed in realizing their goals. So let's talk about what is mental illness. A mental illness is a kind of illness that happens in the brain. It leads to disturbances in your thinking, energy, emotion, or behavior. It makes it very difficult to withstand with the demands of life. It could be due to early adverse life experiences such as trauma or history of abuse, and experiences related to other ongoing chronic medical conditions such as cancer or diabetes, biological factors or chemical imbalances in the brain, use of alcohol or drugs, and having feelings of loneliness or isolation. In a study performed on the set of people, it was found that mental illness impacts 19% of the total adult population. Around 46% of teenagers are affected by it. This problem impacts around 13% of children too every year. There are a common types of mental health issues. Poor mental health can lead to two major types of disorders that impact the day-to-day functioning of the body. Some of these disorders are the first, anxiety disorder. Over 18% of adults suffer from anxiety disorder. It is observed in the form of obsessive compulsive disorder, panic attacks, post-traumatic stress disorder, widespread anxiety disorder, and specific types of fear. And the second, mood disorders. This type of condition is characterized in the form of general depression, bipolar depression, and inability to maintain normal mood. So the last, I'm going to talk about how can improve and maintain good mental health. There are three important ways to improve and maintain your mental health, namely by exercising, eating right, and controlling stress. The first, exercising. It has long been recognized that exercise is beneficial as a proactive way to improve physical conditions and combat disease. Today, exercise is even recognized as an important element in building and maintaining mental fitness. Exercise has many physiological benefits. As an example, the first, physical activity. Research has found that regular physical activity appears to be as effective as physical therapy for treating mild to moderate depression. And the second, exercise can reduce anxiety. Many studies have come to this conclusion. People who exercise regularly report feeling less stressed or nervous. Even 5 minutes of aerobic exercise can stimulate an anti-anxiety effect. And then physical exercise helps fight the withdrawal, inactivity, and feelings of hopelessness that characterize depression. And the second is right. Eating right and regularly also contributes to maintaining good mental health. Making the right nutritional choice can have an impact on mental health. A new study by the British Mental Health Foundation shows that poor diet has played a significant role in the increase in mental health problems over the past 50 years. And then third, control stress. Managing stress is also another way to maintain mental health. First, it's important to identify the source of your stress. So now we already know what is mental health, the importance of mental health, what is mental illness, and how can improve good mental health. The conclusion from my speech is mind is one of the most powerful organs that regulates the functioning of all the other organs in the body. When our mind gets disturbed or imbalanced, then impacts the overall functioning of the overall body. It negatively impacts our emotional health, work performance, and relationships too. Due to the significance of mind, it becomes very important to keep your mind healthy. If you relate to any of the mental disorders, then do not hesitate in seeking treatment. Early treatment can enhance the chance to treat disease quickly and easily. So I have one quote that's saying like, no health without mental health. Okay, I think that's all about my speech. I hope you can get some information from my speech today. I'm sorry if I have any mistakes. Thank you for your attention and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, Anissa. Wait.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, let's thank to Allah the Almighty who has been giving us mercy and blessings so we can attend this meeting without any obstacle in this great occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to tell about insomnia. Have you ever heard about insomnia? Insomnia is the condition of being unable to sleep. People with insomnia may be plagued by trouble falling asleep, unwelcome awakening during the night, and fitful sleep. They may experience daytime drowsiness yet still be unable to nap and are often anxious, irritable, and unable to concentrate. Insomnia is one of the most common types of sleep disturbance, at least occasionally affecting about 1 in 3 people. As you are listening to me, I know that not everyone suffers from insomnia. But still, there is a time when you cannot really close your eyes and you wonder what is stopping you from getting your nice and comfy sleep. Therefore, I dare to say that you are actually experiencing the same problem of those who are suffering from insomnia. To be frank, I experience insomnia all the time. When I was small, my parents would ask I to go to bed at 9 p.m. every night. However, when I start to lie on my bed, I would not fall asleep immediately. I could only really close my eyes 2 or 3 hours later. I never knew that I was also suffering from insomnia until I happened to read an article about sleeping disorder in a newspaper when I was in high school. Eventually, I knew I was experiencing it during that time. Insomnia, which is due to various causes and include a variety of symptoms, can be reduced or eliminated in a number of ways. So today, I will inform you on how to overcome insomnia. There are 3 important things to do overcome insomnia. Firstly, look at your daily habits which distract your sleep. Secondly, be creative by adopting new habits to help you sleep, like having a short reading before going to sleep is better.
Besides increasing your knowledge, reading material including newspaper, magazine, encyclopedia, and so on can guarantee you a nice sleep. Lastly, the best way to overcome your insomnia is by preparing your brain for sleep. By eliminating noise from your room before going to bed by turning off the phone or using the earplugs can also be considered a wise alternative to be taken. There are actually many other treatments to cure insomnia. However, the treatment that I have just informed are the simple ways to overcome it. Nevertheless, you don't have to seek for professional insomnia treats as you can overcome your insomnia by yourself just by following the tips given. If you start to have the insomnia symptoms, you better hurry to overcome it so that it will not turn in a tragic one. If you are so tired of suffering insomnia, you can make a difference if you are very determined and put all your efforts to it. You must always expect for the best and be prepared for the worst. I think that's enough and thank you for your attention guys. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
Waalaikumsalam.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, I would like to thank the Almighty God. It is because of Him we are all able to attend in this class today. Secondly, may salawat and salam always be delivered to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who had brought us from the darkness to this bright modern era that we live in today. And last but not least, I'd like to thank everyone for giving me this very special opportunity to deliver my idea in this topic. Good afternoon, Excellencies, friends, and colleagues. My name is Happy Presti. I'm from Muhammadiyah University Palembang, sitting here before you all to deliver my speech. But before I deliver my speech, I have some questions for you. What's your opinion about learning in the COVID-19 pandemic? Is it effective or not? And what is actually COVID-19? COVID-19 is a disease caused by a virus which belongs to the family of coronavirus. This virus is the one that caused a pandemic in 2020. A pandemic is a new disease that spreads all over the world and affects many people. So far, we have observed that this virus can spread easily like objects we can touch through sneezing or coughing. This can affect many people to get sick. So that's why this virus has spread worldwide. Because the presence of this virus causes various activities to be hampered. Not only that, the economic and education sectors are also affected. To minimize the spread of COVID-19 virus, the government has issued an ultimatum to carry out all forms of activities at home, especially learning and teaching activities. To continue the education, we should do online learning, right? Online learning in its entirety is dependent on technological devices and internet. The dependency of online learning on technological equipment and the provision of the equipment was challenged for institution, faculty, teachers, and learners. As we know, for almost 2 years, we have been carrying out learning activities at home, which this way was chosen to limit the spread of COVID-19 virus. Of course, this government policy raises a lot of pros and cons for online learning implementation because online learning is the use internet and some other technologies to develop the materials, of which around 30% agreed to implement an online class, but the 70% complained that this policy was due to inadequate facilities and the signal constraints, which were the main problems. Regarding the complaint, the government said they were ready to provide assistance to the people of money and internet data for teachers and students, but it is not enough for us. We try to see the impact in learning activities. Normally, we do learning activities in the class,
But because of this pandemic, we only do it through online apps, and it is not a effective way. Online learning is debatable because it causes absence of face-to-face relationship among teachers and students. Even the teachers cannot know the condition of their students and also not free to explain the subject matter, and the students will feel the same way. Then, pandemic-related anxiety will have negative effects on students' academic performance. Academic performance of students might be affected by racial, economic, and resource differences. If we talk about online learning, of course, we will talk about the side note. We can say that the side note greatly affects on implementation of online learning. But what if some students experience this obstacle when they got bad connection? Of course, they will fail in some subject, right? As in our reality, I will give an example. For example, there is a student who lives in a region that far from the internet area. In that day, she has an examination and she failed on that exam because she need to kilometers to reach the internet area. From this case, we can conclude that learning in the COVID-19 pandemic was a struggle for everyone, but we cannot avoid it because these conditions. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, that's my speech. I hope we can learn from it, and I hope we study normally and the world will get better soon. Don't forget about 4 things. They are: don't forget to washing your hands, using masks in everywhere, keep social distancing, and keep healthy because the healthy is expensive. Thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everyone. I'm here. I want to tell you about my speech with the topic of bullying. Bullying is a universal problem that affects everyone in society, young or old. Bullying involves pattern of repeated aggressive behavior with negative intent directed from one person or persons to another, where there is a power difference. We owe it to ourselves to stop bullies through appropriate people in power or law enforcement. Cyberbullying is also said to be a hidden form of bullying because few people know about it, but the impact can be devastating for the victim's condition. About 15% of American teens attending the equivalent of high school are victims of cyberbullying, according to new research. Based on the research, it turns out that many teenagers spend hours playing video games or using computers for things other than schoolwork. Researchers precisely analyzed data from 15,000 public and private schools. As it turned out, 1 of 6 students admitted to having been a victim of cyberbullying in the past 12 months. As reported by US News, teenage girls are twice as likely to be targets of bullying. Electronic bullying among teens can be threaten their self-esteem, mental state, and social status, said lead author of the study, Dr. Andrew Edisman. He also added that although technology is getting more sophisticated, parents and schools need to understand that this sophistication carries the potential for harm to teenagers. To end on a more happy note, sometimes bullying backfires on the bullies and reward the bullied in unexpected ways. In February 2020, a video went viral of an Australian boy who suffered from dwarfism, threatening to kill himself, clearly distressed at the treatment he had from school bullies. But a GoFundMe page was set up for Creighton Bales to take him to Disney World and cheer him up, and the page raised over $300,000. Famous celebrities, including Hugh Jackman, sent him messages supporting the 9-year-old. With great pride, he also accepted an invitation to march out with his favorite football team. If we want to stop bullying, when bullies form gangs and pick on a few or one person, it's important to note all the names and provide the teachers with them accordingly. Not one of the bullies should escape justice. Before I end my speech, I have a quote to say to all of you. If you turn and face the other way when someone being bullied, you might as well be the bully too. Okay, that's all about my speech. Thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
You may start.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Ranti Mayasari. First of all, thanks to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala who always given health and blessing for all of us so that we can join this Zoom meeting. Secondly, may salawat and salam for our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam who always given goodness in the world. In this change, I give thanks to Miss Pinza who has given me time to speak in the Zoom meeting. Today, I will deliver my speech about the impact of bullying. Bullying is use of force, hurtful, teasing, or threat to abuse, aggressively dominate, or intimidate. The behavior is often repeated and habitual. Bullying has become such a root aspect of teenager life. Right from the start of elementary school, children has been exposed to the uncontrolled factor of social life with their peers. Some could be good, some could be bad. But children in a bullying-free environment usually tends to help others. Meanwhile, children is heavily pressured environment with a lot of bullying cases will tend to act more violently and reactive toward to other people. Today, 40% of children that commit suicide to do so some of bullying, Khofifah said while talking to the student at the State University of Surabaya on Monday as quoted by Liputan 6. However, we cannot ignore the fact that they are still children, that they need guidance. Perhaps the reason why bullying is so rampant these days is because of the parents. Maybe the parents didn't pay enough attention to their children. Maybe they let their children running wild without teaching them how to treat others, how to respect others. But of course, bad parents or good parents with bad parenting skill will not ever mention that or admit to in the real life. That is why we have their understanding. We have to teach the parent first to be able to teach the children. This is not a single case situation, so we all know that perhaps it is not the child who is in trouble, but that bullying was the result of a certain cultural phenomenon because the system. The only thing left that we could do is raise awareness every day about how important it is to respect each other, to treat each other with love instead of hate. Children need to understand and need to see more love in this world so that they could copy and share it with the world. That I think would be the ideal way to stop bullying and to spread love in this world. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. If I mistake, I'm sorry. I hope that the world will become a better place each day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, Ranti. Yes. Why don't you give a little smile, Ranti? Or a little spirit. This is a part of it. Hey, you are more beautiful in that way. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We finish it first. Yeah. What about student number 3? Yes. Number 3 is Selvia Uni Nadia. Okay.
Miss.
Miss Selvia, are you ready?
Yes, Miss.
Yes. Oke, mungkin agak sedikit dibawahkan kameranya. Nah, so I can see your expression. Okay. Remember, performance is also important. Okay, Selvia, you may take the screen.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let us pray and praise the presence of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who has given us various kinds of favors so far. And I don't forget to thank my lecturer who has given me the opportunity to deliver a speech through this Zoom meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to speak on the topic social media. The reason I chose this topic because of the growing popularity of social media. As we all know that social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and WhatsApp are major advantages of social media is that it's full of information and helps in providing education. For example, children approach social media to get information on the desired topic. It's a great device for education. It has made live education possible. We can attend a lecture happening in some other part of the world by just sitting in front of a screen in our country. Social media is also very convenient to stay updated about what is happening around us. We don't need to wait for a newspaper to give us information. There are various news-related applications that can instantly update us about any series happening around us. Social media has also created opportunities for people such as to show their talent. It's also great for advertisement, but despite being so many benefits, it has been criticized. It has disadvantages too. It's also considered as one of the harmful elements of society. The oversharing on social media can be dangerous. It can attack our privacy. Also, overusing leads to spending too much time on social media, which can divide children from their studies. Sometimes fake news is also spread with it help disturbing the people. In short, social media has its advantages and disadvantages. It's up to us how we use it. Use it wisely. Okay, that's all about short speech from me. Sorry if there are any mistake. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, all of my friends. First of all, let me thanks to Allah for the blessing which give healthy and balanced body for us, so we can gather once again in this Zoom meeting with happiness. And today I would like to present a speech on junk food. Our country is a country of farms, and we have abundant food resources available, which are rich in all kinds of proteins, carbohydrates, vitamins, and minerals. Our forefather and ancestor ate fresh organic produce, which came directly from farms and led a long healthy lifestyle. They rarely suffer from diseases such as sugar, blood pressure, obesity, and cholesterol. Today, with the advent of modernization came junk food. Junk is the word which we use for something which is trash and is of no use. Similarly, junk food is also a trash food that has very low nutrition value. They mostly contain harmful saturated fats, which do not good to our bodies. The category of junk food includes burgers, French fries, pizzas, chips, and so on. These foods are prepared with a high quantity of oil. It is prepared in such a manner that they taste very good. And once a person tastes them, they get addicted to its taste and regularly demand for this kind of foods. This is especially the case with children. As we can see, mall culture is developing, and we can see small or big mall in every corner of the metro cities. These malls are the major source of junk food. As the mall culture is increasing, so the demand for junk food is also increasing. Junk food is highly unhealthy. They make a person gain unnecessary weight, which leads to obesity, diabetes, and other health problems. But the problem today is junk food has become an inseparable part of the modern lifestyle. It's hardly possible to completely eliminate it from food, but we can manage its intake. Children should be given this kind of food only a few times a week. It becomes a responsibility of parents and teachers to inculcate good food habit in children at an early age. The junk food has many ill effects on our body, health, and mind. A healthy-minded person should make himself and his family to say no to junk food. The restaurant and malls who sell junk food in large quantities should be banned. The government should also restrict such as that encourage people to consume junk food. And at least today, I encourage all the people here to make a pledge that they will not consume junk food and will contribute to the fight against junk food. Okay, it's all of my speech today. Hope you understand the dangers of junk food. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
And without the leader in this semester. Don't forget salawat and greeting to our big prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, because he has brought us from the darkness to the lightness, from the stupidity to the cleverness, from Jahiliyyah era to Islamic era. Namely, Islam is true religion. Okay, Engineer Patricia, in this moment, I'm going to deliver a speech about the importance of protecting the environment. Protecting the environment means protecting your dreams and your futures. Protecting the natural environment is very important. Basically, protecting the environment is an obligation. That's why, because humans are very dependent on the natural environment. There are many efforts made by various parties to protect the natural environment, both from the community and the government. Of course, we need a good environment to live and survive in the future, right? This is the importance of protecting the environment. We need to live in the future. I give you an analogy. Are you going to survive in an environment where there are so very many garbage and there's pollution? I'm sure you don't want to live there. You don't feel comfortable and you will be rushing out of the place. Ladies and gentlemen, the question here is, why is there a garbage there? There's a pollution there. The answer is because some irresponsible people who leader or who make sitting there, I know it's that time. I'm talking about some people, not everyone on the world. Because there are still many people who have awareness of how important it is to protect the environment. I know you are the part of that people. Here, some efforts to perceive the environment. The first, you can planting the trees. Planting trees is a form of protecting the environment that is being promoted lately. This cannot be separated from the active role of the government with the program Movement for Planting 1 Billion Trees. As we know, trees provide great benefits for us, such as making the environment more beautiful, making the air cleaner, and much more. This activity is carried out with the benefit for planting operation, which cause people's house to collapse and drain into the river. And the second, don't litter. Disposing of garbage in the river can cause the flow of the water in the river to be low, become clogged. The waterfall is not smooth, and this is one of the treasures for flooding and the fish, of course, harming humans themselves. And then don't burn the trash. Burning the garbage can release the cause zone of the plate, regulate the amount of the ultraviolet light and enters the Earth's surface. Protect the Earth so that the ultraviolet light does not directly hit the Earth's surface. Absorb ultraviolet light, keep Earth's temperature stabilized, protect the Earth's surface from falling glacial bodies. And then we need to save the energy. Is new that is produced from the recycled raw materials can save much energy that comes in the production process. This is of course different from new products made for the first time from new raw materials where the amount of energy comes is certainly much higher. And then prohibit posting. Illegal hunting is an activity of illegal taking with animals and playing which is contrary to the regulation of the conservation and widow management. This is illegal hunting in all of piloting of hunting regulation allows. And then the question, why we need to protect the environment? My answer is, we can survive in the future. We can live in the future. We can have the good life if we protect our environment, so we can get the good benefit. We can take a breath like it's a good year, so that we know if we protect our environment, we can survive in the future. Okay, guys, I hope we can be a good people. Always take care about our environment. And I tell you, let's protect our dream and our future start from now. If not us, who else? Okay, I think that's all about my speech. I'm sorry if I have any mistake. And last word, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. On this auspiciation, let us say thanksgiving to the presence of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who has given us His blessing and guided us so that we can gather in good healthy today. I will deliver a speech on the importance of maintaining health. Currently, many people are suffering from diseases. Therefore, we must maintain health because currently there are many infection diseases such as bird flu, eye diseases, hepatitis, and others. Factors that make it easier for humans to get sick are: first, a dirty environment so that our environment is free from disease outbreaks. We must maintain cleanliness by disposing of garbage in its place. Burying used items and draining bathtubs so that they don't get sick easily. Not become a mosquito breeding ground. Diseases that are usually caused by our dirty environment are itching, skin diseases, and others. The second is air pollution. Air pollution caused by smoke coming from factories and motorcycle vehicles. And currently, there is also a lot of deforestation, so that the air becomes not fresh and very dirty. Therefore, let's go green by planting trees and stopping the deforestation and reduce the use of motorized vehicles. And the third is less of rest. Many people are more concrete with their work than their rest. So the body feels weak and tired. Therefore, no matter how busy our work is, take time to rest and get enough sleep. There's 8 hours, especially great mind student. We will carry out the national exam. A knock raised so that we can move smoothly and enthusiastically. Things that can be done to maintain health into exercise such as gymnastics, jogging, and others. Eat healthy, eat healthy, eat, eat healthy into exercises as gymnastics, jogging, and others. Eat healthy and gram reports, get enough rest and get regular sleep. Therefore, take care of your health. Abandon a lazy, a dirty lifestyle, a free, a clean, and dispersing lifestyle. That's all my speech. I'm sorry if there are wrong words because I'm just an ordinary human. Being modest, not express for mistakes. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.